Oh, hello, hello, hello. Melissa May Dillon here, live on my personal page, and there was a hair in my mouth. All right, hello. So yes, I go live on my personal page on Facebook, but then we upload it to my YouTube channel. If you're on the YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe. And if you are on Facebook or YouTube and you have any comments or anything that you want to talk about or anything that you relate to or whatever, please drop your comments below. I would love to be able to hear from you and know your thoughts. So I've been going live every single day for 2025, the year that I go live, and it's been an awesome, amazing journey. And today I wanted to talk about what is your fuel. Is it fear or faith? And this came from a phone call, or Zoom call that I had with Melanie Anlayer. So if you don't know who she is, if you've been listening to my lives, you know who she is. But she is a woman who was homeless in her car in 2016. She figured out how to fall in love with her life, started coaching people, and now she has a almost $90 million brand globally, teaching people about wealth, energetics. She is really into making sure that women have large amounts of money. She wants to make it normal for large money to be in the hands of women. And she has a goal of having 1 million millionaires, and I am one of her millionaires, so that is super awesome and amazing. But I am part of her AFE program, which is everything that she teaches, all the courses that she does, everything that she's got going on. You basically can join everything she has for a year. And I'm already signed up for next year too, because it's amazing. But what was today? This was in the God Zone. So she has a program going on right now called the God Zone. And it's all about recognizing that you are the creator of your reality, and you can take conscious control of this. And you can go back a few different videos because I explain what the God Zone is. I believe December to Remember, I talk about what the God Zone is. But in the session today, she was talking about you either move with faith or you move with fear. And I like to think about it like when you're wearing like glasses. You either filter the world through faith or you filter the world through fear. So whatever it is that you're moving, whatever it is that you're doing, however it is that you're operating, what is fueling you as you do that? Is it fear or is it faith? So like, let's say for instance that, you want to get that you feel like you need to change jobs. If you're moving from fear, every decision you make, every application you put in, every person you talk to, if you're moving with fear, that's going to be like lingering on that move that you make, on that conversation that you have. If you move in faith, same thing. You're basically attaching the energy to it, because we don't realize that we are like energetic beings, that we actually have energy coming off of our bodies, that we send out thought waves, that we send out vibrations from our bodies. And so when fear is your fuel, every decision you make, every step that you take, every conversation that you have is got the fuel lingering on it, the fear lingering on it. Same thing with the faith. And so this is why, so if you want to be able to put out amazing impact on the planet, if you want to receive amazing impact back, you have to take conscious control of how it is that you are operating. And we are either operating in faith or we're operating in fear. So like, again, for the example, let's say you want to get a new job. If you operate in fear, you might think like, well, I make enough money at this job, so maybe I just need to deal with the toxic behaviors that my boss and employer have. And I have good benefits, so I just need to stay with this toxic job, if you're moving through fear. If you're moving through faith, you would, go with the idea of like, I trust that there is a better job for me. I trust that there will be a better situation for me. And you go forth and you apply, and let's say you even get, a potential interview and it doesn't quite work out. And instead of going, see, I shouldn't have applied, that would be fueling through fear. You go with, oh, there's even a better opportunity. I'm glad I had this chance to apply. I'm glad I had this opportunity to talk. I'm glad I had this opportunity to get into a cute little outfit and go for an interview. It just means that I'm getting into more alignment with finding the right job. Basically, and I talk about this all the time, is that if you're living by faith, you're living with the belief that everything is working in your favor all the time, even the hard stuff. And I'm going through hard stuff. I'll just tell you, I just cried for like an hour with my husband having conversations about things. I go through the hard stuff, but I don't see the hard stuff as being a problem. I don't see the hard stuff as deterring me from my path. I see it as part of what I need to do and what I need to go through and how it is that I need to grow, because I move with faith. If we move with fear, we worry that our thoughts, that we're not doing the right thing, that we're not making the right choices, that the world doesn't care about us, that God doesn't care about us, that we're not some part of, like the way Melanie talked about it, it was just like, she's like, you either believe that you're part of God's plan, or you believe that somehow you got forgotten and that you're just the one that's on the outskirts, like, so it's like, of course we're part of the plan. Of course we are, his conscious creation, and that we have a purpose, we have a reason, and that, we are his children, that we are being blessed by God. And I know some of this conversation can be a little bit funky, especially if you grew up in the church like I did, and church can kind of suck sometimes. But when I think about God, I don't think about necessarily the Christian God in the Bible. I think about source energy. I think about Mother Nature. I think about the universe in general. So when I move with fear, every decision I make, every action I take, every person I talk to, everything that I do, it's being done in fear, and it's going to have that energy to it. But when I operate in faith and I have the belief that everything's working out for me, every action I take, every person that I talk to, everything that I do is going to have the faith around it. And it's going to create, no matter which we do, whether we move in fear or whether we move in faith, both things are going to create momentum in our life. So what kind of momentum do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with fear-based momentum or faith-based momentum? And I've been operating in the realm of shifting from fear to faith. I've done a lot of moves. Like, for instance, when I quit my corporate job, I had one of the best jobs I ever had. It had unlimited PTO. I was making more money than I ever had in all my life, double my normal teaching salary. And I had a lot of flexibility, and I had a lot of freedom, and I didn't have anyone micromanaging me. It was literally the best job on the planet I had ever secured. And I gave it up so that I could do my own thing and start my own YouTube channel and help more people. And that required a lot of faith. That required faith in, what I was doing and what I was building, and in myself, and in the overall grand scheme of plans that God was going to support me through this. And it showed up exactly true, exactly correct, that I was okay. I'm going to be supported. I've ended up building this amazing business. I have this incredible YouTube channel, and I've helped so many more people by starting my own business instead of continuing to work for the corporate company. I moved by faith, not by fear. Every action that I took, everything that I did was faith-based instead of fear-based. I have moved fear-based before, and fear-based got me into jobs and situations that I did not enjoy, and ended up, being in places I didn't want to have to be in. And so part of being a conscious creator of your reality, because you are a creator of your reality, whether you accept that to be true or not, you are the creator of your reality. And if you can take conscious control of creating your reality, everything that you do, and this is part of being intentional. Yesterday I had a conversation about being intentional. Being intentional with creating your reality means that you do things on purpose. So I am getting very purposeful and very intentional about how I do everything. And so as I make decisions, as I have conversations, if they've got the taste or touch of fear, I'm like, oh, never mind. Let me switch that to faith. Okay, I have faith, I have trust, and I have so much evidence that the faith works, that it's true, it's legitimate. So even though the fear is there, I lean more into the faith, and I trust the faith rather than trusting the fear. So many people have so much faith in fear, which is crazy. More people will spend time thinking about what they're afraid of than spending on what could possibly go well. Living in fear is asking, what if it doesn't work? Living in faith is asking, what if it does work? And we more often will focus on what doesn't work. Melanie also talks about it as playing to lose, or playing not to lose. Most people play not to lose instead of playing to win. If you're playing to win, you live in faith. You trust, you know it's going to work out. Even if it doesn't work out, you trust that what didn't work out was actually opening you up to the better thing that's going to work out. Because as an example of this, there was a time where I was working the job that I had, the amazing job, all the benefits, but it was like 60,000 a year, up to 70,000 sometimes with bonuses. And there was a job where it was going to be 100,000 a year. And I full body believed that job was mine, because it was basically doing what I did at that corporate company for another company. And they already liked me. They already, I believed I was a total shoo-in. I was like, that job is 100% mine. And I had this full faith that I would be making $100,000 that year, that would be my job, and that I would totally get it, and it would be awesome and amazing. I ended up not getting the job. But what ended up happening was I decided to quit and start my own YouTube channel. And it was the belief that job was mine that raised my level of I should be making at least $100,000 a year. And it was also the potential of that job that really got my mind going about having a YouTube channel. Because if I had switched jobs, I'd be able to do the same thing, but with a different company. So I would be able to actually have a YouTube channel teaching people about the insurance exam if I took this new job. Because instead of working for an actual exam prep company, I'd be working for a call center. And there would be no conflict of interest of me being able to teach the insurance exam on a YouTube channel. So I had the potential of that job got me thinking I should be making $100,000 a year, and it got me giving me all these ideas about a YouTube channel to start teaching people about the insurance exam prep. That job didn't work out, but it led to me being comfortable to quit my job. And in the first year that I started my business, I made $100,000. Because I already had that set point as my belief. And I had so much ideas ruminating about my YouTube channel. If I had not gotten that potential opportunity for that job, I wouldn't have thought so much about, starting a YouTube channel. So I had faith that job was mine. It wasn't mine. But then I had faith that it would still work out and that everything would be okay. And it did. It worked out even better. It's so much better now that I'm doing this on my own, because even that job, they would have capped me at 100,000. I've now made 2 million. It's so much better that I'm doing it on my own and not through a company. So we have to have faith that whatever we go through, even the bad stuff, on the other side, it's going to be okay. And that it's purposeful, and that there's a reason, and that it could be growth. It could be that there's a better situation. It could be that we're just simply getting in better alignment. When you think about, if we're a vibrational being and what we put out is what we're going to receive. So let's say you want to have an incredible partnership. You want to date, you want to go dating, and you want to find your person. Every time that you go out on a date and you meet somebody and they match up with certain things and you get excited about that, but then there's a few things that don't quite work, and so then it ends. People take this wrong. They'll say, see, I never should have dated. I'll never find anybody. Nobody loves me. And then they just completely shut down. How you need to take it is saying, wow, I realize now that I can meet a person who has this, because I just met them and they had this. Now I would like to meet a person who has this, plus this. And then you go meet the next person, and then they have all of those. And then you realize, oh, it's possible that I can have those things, and potentially I could even feel even better. In order to get into alignment and to vibrate at what it is that we need, we have to have examples. We have to have things that help us shift into alignment. So maybe you've only been in a relationship where they don't share your common, there's nothing that they're not interested in doing things that you do. I know when my first marriage, he was all about wanting to play video games. I had no interest in that. It worked out when I was going to college, because I would just do my homework sitting next to him while he was playing video games. But then after we got married and I'm done with college, and I would come home and all he wanted to do is play video games, it didn't work out for me. I didn't have homework I needed to do anymore. I'm like, I want to enjoy life with you. And he's like, nope, I'm busy playing video games. So most of my thought process would have been, well, I just want to meet someone who's not into video games. But I wouldn't have a full list of all the things I do desire in a person. I would just have that one. I was just the one requirement, don't play video games. So then I meet somebody. So let's say, I could meet somebody who's not into video games, but that doesn't check off other things. Every time you date someone, you're getting into closer alignment to your actual partner that you actually want. And when you can see the fate, moving in faith would say, I met this person for a reason. I met this person so that I can discover that I really want a partner who does X, Y, Z. And now I know that I can meet another person who will do XYZ, plus they will have even the other things that it is I would like to have. Like, we have to trust that opportunities that come our way, whether they work out or not, are feeding into our ultimate big picture working out. And that each opportunity is an invitation to get more into alignment with what it is that you want. That potential job opportunity of making $100,000 a year, it got me into an alignment with making six figures, and it got me into an alignment with having a YouTube channel, but it's ultimately not everything that I wanted. But it got me turned towards the right direction. And then I turned even more towards the right direction with the idea of starting my own business. Everything that, because if you operate in faith, you trust that this is working out for me. Even though it hurts, even though it stings, even though even though I expected something different, I trust that there is a better purpose, a bigger reason, a grander vision than what I can potentially hold in my mind right now. When that job opportunity didn't work out, it was a little disappointing, but at the same time, I now know that there is something more available. I now know that there are other opportunities available. Like, I didn't even think about what could be possible with my skill set of teaching the insurance exam. And then I saw like there was another potential job available. That's what got my mind going about what else could I do with this? How else can I help people? So sometimes certain situations come our way just to simply crack open our mind and to expand us about what's possible and what's available. And if I'm fueling myself with faith, I'm asking, what if it does work out? And what else good can come? Most of us are fueled by fear. What if it doesn't work out? And how do I avoid pain? Like, that's the whole playing not to lose. Most people play not to lose. They attempt to avoid pain, and they end up living a mediocre, painful life trying to avoid pain. Instead of, faith, it says it's not about avoiding pain. It's about playing full out. It's about trusting that you are supported, trusting that you are a child of God, trusting that if you have a vision and you have a desire, there is a reason and there is a purpose for that. And so everything you do, every thought you're contemplating, you're considering a job change, you're considering a business, you're considering a partnership, you're considering whatever it may be, is the fuel of those thoughts fear or is it faith? And start getting really, really intentional about making sure that faith is what is fueling you in every decision that you're making, and everything that you're doing, and every contemplation that you have. And that even if it doesn't work out, that there is an ultimate story of it working out. And so we may have an expectation, well, I want that job. I want that six figures. Well, you didn't get that job. Okay, well, I trust that there is a grander vision, that there is a bigger purpose here. And I'm going to continue to move with faith and trust and allow the grander vision to come in, allow the better thing to come in. And that is moving by faith. So ask yourself, every decision I'm making, everything I'm contemplating, am I fueling it with fear or am I fueling it with faith? And switch it to faith and work on yourself so that you can get your mindset into faith. Am I asking myself, what if it doesn't work out? Or am I asking myself, what if it does work out? Am I playing more in the realm of possibility and potential? Or am I playing in the realm of past experiences that I'm trying to avoid pain? Living in the realm of past experiences and projecting that onto my future to avoid pain is not a lifestyle that you want to be living. It sucks. It's so much better to live in the lifestyle of imagining even better than what you have. Imagining it working out so well. Like, I just watched a video the other day of this woman who was working at Chick-fil-A, and she started making videos about some things that they were selling, like their cherry berry slushy or something like that. And she made a video about a little hack that you can do, and she started posting on TikTok, and it started getting some traction. And then Chick-fil-A corporate called her for a meeting, and she was like, she had this faith that it was going to be a potential partnership, that they were going to want to use her for marketing or use her for, doing more videos. And it ended up being that they fired her because she broke a rule in the employee handbook about posting videos or whatever. But she had faith. She had faith that it was going to work out. Well, then she got calls from like all these different companies, and she got an interview on Good Morning America. And now she's like promoting all these other doing the similar videos, but for different companies. And she even got to promote Rihanna's brand, Fenty or whatever. Like, she moved with faith, not fear. So yeah, it didn't work out in terms of Chick-fil-A, but it worked out so much better for her in so many different ways. If she had stayed on with Chick-fil-A, and she wouldn't have met Rihanna that way. She met Rihanna because Chick-fil-A fired her. So it's the faith that whatever happens along our path, somehow, some way, it's going to work out. Somehow, some way, this is going to serve me in my favor. And living in that realm is far more juicy than living in the realm of I am simply trying to avoid pain. What if it doesn't work out, and putting your imagination towards the negative. It's wild how much of us use our imagination for negative things. Worrying is the worship of fear. Worrying is the worship of fear. The more you worry, the more you are fueling everything with fear. If fear is your fuel, you will live a mediocre, painful existence attempting to avoid pain, which is crazy because you're ending up living in pain. But if you can fuel yourself with faith, who knows what could happen? So much magic and miracles when you're using your imagination for wonderful, awesome, incredible things. And trusting that everything will work in your favor, even when it seemingly doesn't necessarily work out. That there is something better on the other side of that. I am so glad I didn't get that job. So glad I didn't get that job. Because it meant me being able to start my own company and doing my own thing as the insurance exam queen. And had I gotten that job, it wouldn't have looked the same. It wouldn't be right. I'd be working a corporate job, 9 to 5, stressed out. Now I get to run my own life, my own business. I can make most of my money as passive income. It's amazing. So check yourself. Am I fueling myself with fear, or am I fueling myself with faith? Because everything that I fuel with fear is going to go out into the world with fear on it, and it's going to come back to me with more fear. But everything that I fuel with faith is going to go out into the world with faith and come back to me with even more faith. And that is a wonderful place to be in. So I love you all so much. 2025, the year I go live, I'm going to be going live every single day on my Facebook channel and putting the replays up on the YouTube if you ever want to come watch them again. Have an amazing night. I'm sending you off with so much love. Bye.